is up, my ninjas? I'm Strident, and I am back with a new figure review. It's actually an old figure, but it's a new review. And we are talking about the SH Figuarts KibaRanger, aka the White Ranger, aka Tommy. I came across the White Ranger through KibaRanger because I grew up watching Super Sentai before Power Rangers. We used to watch it in Portuguese on the international channel, so I know this guy is Ko, the KibaRanger from KibaRanger. That footage was reused in Power Rangers, I think the second season of Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Tommy, of course, was given these powers. Ko was a kid who, when he used his powers, he morphed and he still was a kid. If you noticed, he was kind of short in the footage. So that's a little background on the character, but I've always loved this character. I love KibaRanger. It's my favorite team because they're all Kung Fu, Chinese Zodiac themed. This figure is freaking awesome. It's like sublime. He's so simplistic, but every detail is caught, or captured in such a way that it's hard to find anything to complain about. I know, I hear a lot of reviewers of American figures say there's no such thing as a perfect toy. Well, this is pretty damn close. I told you before, Bandai makes the best figures, and SH Figuarts, in most cases, they're an example of this concept. The articulation, top notch. Anything I want him to do, he can do. I can make him fold his arms. I can make him kick. I can make him do, poses that I saw Tommy do, poses I saw Ko do, whatever it is, he can do it. And, that's the joy of collecting SH Figuarts. Name that figure. Kung Fu poses, he looks good. And he holds them. The joints are pretty, they're not ratcheted, but they hold extremely well, so you don't have to worry about wondering if they will keep the pose that you put them in. I mean, I've had him posed since I got him earlier this year. Off and on, I pose him and I, put him back and whatever, but he never ever falls out of the pose that I put him in. And that goes for all the SH Figuarts that I have. So, that's a testament to good engineering, which is the thing that American figures lack the most. Accessory count is kind of low, but I mean, honestly, Ko didn't really use anything, or Tommy didn't really use anything. It's just the sword and, extra hands. And then, of course, there's the removable sheath, which is pretty nice because sometimes if you think back in both shows, you see them without the sheath on their belt, and sometimes you see them with the sheath on their belts. And sometimes holsters, depending on if they used guns or not. But this team was all martial arts themed to some degree, Chinese martial arts themed, Chinese Zodiac themed. So they didn't really use guns like that. I think their only gun was their cannon. They had the individual, or the giant cannon piece. Anyway, here he is. You can see there's he's missing the sheath. There is a little peg on the actual sheath that pegs into the side, and it can kind of swivel on that peg if you want it to get out of the way, so that when he kicks or you put him in a wide-legged stance, you don't end up hindering his articulation with the use of the sheath, which is awesome. Another awesome thing is how you put the sword in the sheath, because Saba has this weird shape to the blade. You actually just separate the blade from the hilt of the sword, and you have two blades. You have a short one where the blade is kind of closed up, because that's what it did. It retracted in the show, and you kind of put the short one in from the underside, and then you plug the actual hilt and handle back in on top, and it works so perfectly. It's just, there's nothing to complain about. Now, another thing is that the little bit of joints that you do see actually work with the figure. I mean, it's a toy, so there's got to be some type of joints that you see, but it would be really easy to go in with Photoshop and just rub out the spots where there's joints. And if you do that, it'd be really difficult to tell that this is a figure. I love his shield. For those of you who don't know, the shield is the chest plate. The shoulder pads are hinged. It's a really tiny hinge, so I guess you'd have to be pretty careful if you're playing with him. You can't go all out and have him really, getting hit real hard by the Marvel Select Juggernaut or something like that. But they're pretty well engineered and pretty strong for how thin the hinge actually is. I was impressed when I saw this because I have big hands. Sometimes it's very few and far in between, but sometimes just the weight on some of these Japanese figures, it fucks things up. And that didn't happen here. Also on the shield is the chest plate. He showed up in a KibaRanger, and that was what prompted this release. And you could remove that shield and put in the Chinaman shield. This was the American release. Agent O hooked me up by getting 2 of these, one for him and one for me. And we couldn't get the KibaRanger version. That sold out really quick, but this was the American, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers release. So you still can remove the shield, even though you didn't come with an alternate Chinaman, you know, Super Sentai Chinaman logo to go in there. So this is just another awesome release from SH Figuarts. As you can see, these are the Super Sentai SH Figuarts that I have. I wasn't as big into them because I prefer the construction of the Kamen Riders. I think they're somewhat built better, and their designs kind of lend to the kind of sculpts that we're getting, and they hide the joints a little bit better. And I don't know, they're just all around, in my opinion, a little better than these. But I do like Super Sentai, and I like these. I would love it if they'd give us a Bull Black. I mean, Hyuga is one of the most badass characters, or the Magna Defender is one of the most badass characters we've ever had in Super Sentai. I mean, and he's only part of my inspiration for creating Strident. I mean, look at the design. That would just be so dope. I don't know, please. You know? But the sword, Saba, or God, I forgot what his name was in Japanese. Anyway, we'll just call him Saba for now. I have the old, what were they, about 8-inch Power Rangers from back in the day when they first came out, and that's the giant sword that came with the White Ranger. As you can see, all those details are there. It's just they're painted on the smaller SH Figuarts one, which doesn't it beg you to wonder, why didn't they just paint the one, you know, the larger one? It would have been easier and everything. But it's the difference between American toys and Japanese toys. You know, this is what I keep telling people, and folks don't want to listen. But this figure is just completely stellar. If you notice, this review is fairly short. I think I'm going to clock in at about 10 minutes, and it's not too much to say that you can't see for yourself, or that I haven't already said, or even other reviewers have said. The articulation is perfect. The our accessory count, though it's small, it's necessary, and it works. Paint job, perfect. The nostalgia factor, fun factor, it's up there, because the only reason why you would even be looking at this is if you grew up on Super Sentai or Power Rangers. I did. I grew up on both. So it's just one of those things. It's a win in every single area. So if you have about 40 bucks to spend, I say spend it on this guy. Don't spend the 20-something bucks on, you know, subpar Marvel Legends figures, thinking that you're getting quality when this is actually the quality. I know it's Power Rangers, it's Super Sentai, it's Japanese, whatever, but it's worth it. The next video I have for you will be a review of a figure I got actually before this. I think I got him for Christmas last year, and it just has taken a while for me to get to him, and he's been bugging me to review him, so he will be invading. Next week I will be on vacation, so I'm dropping this video and the video of this character, and you guys can watch those in my absence. But when I return, we will be jumping full steam ahead back into the G.I. Joe collection. I will have my Cobra vehicles, and then I will get into all the Joes and all the goodness and the hijinks that I've created with my Joe collection. So thanks for watching, and peace outside.